Just so you're aware. No, what I mean to say is.
A lot of reassurance in that.
Did you feel you felt it?
Yeah, totally.
I guess what I mean to say is that
I got it. No, like it's like
I feel like she's gonna be a speech today.
no, I think it's good momentum.
I do. Yeah.
No, but of course, but how would you know? How would you know?
Well, why isn't there a process? I'm like,
Who knows? Of course, but that's not. But why litigate that? You don't have to like unearth that. It's just like who cares? It does things. Right, but also it's like right, and it's like okay, so now, and you can't go around being like, what a waste of time. And you just go to every possible scenario and put this in place. It's like marriage. You just do it as it comes. It's like drinking pipes. Yeah, no, exactly. It's like it's like replacing pipes in New York City. You know what I mean? They just don't look at first.
oh yeah, I guess that's where I was now. I guess
Yeah.
so. To invigorate my optimism,
Yeah.
my point is that next year
Yeah.
it will not be as
Fewer pipes. Correct. And that's how Con Ed feels.
That's
That's how Con Ed feels also.
This is so lovely. This has just been fantastic. So nice.
it's also such like a night I mean both the streets and the table really good governor.
It really is.
You know what I like is I'm texting you and asking when I'm oh, see, so we're still doing that. That's great to hear. Yeah. That's still a thing. Right. We're still hiring people. Like everyone else makes it seem like yeah, it's like it's all done. When they said there's hiring people.
When I said this job, it's like, backfire.
I know,
We
but
never.
that worries me.
It's Zillow right now. What's it? Kind of basic. No, the whole school is Zillow right now. They're always like, I assume that's all it is. You know, it just doesn't seem this thing.
Oh yeah, it does.
I wasn't sure either. The rest of it. I could play your next dad.
Is he like younger than you?
No. Yeah, his dad was like very like. So his dad was there because his sister works at Conway and she just had a baby. So she brought the baby to the Philippines.
Got his thumbs up.
And, yeah, it was. So like dad was there as like the security guard. Oh,
Okay, hi, everybody. Can I get a motion to go into executive session for, personnel and legal? Maureen and Megan, all in favor? 7, and we'll be back at 7 o'clock. Thanks.
Yeah.
they wrapped.
No, I remember, he's like, so it needs to have a beard, like,
Venuto.
Ann Markoulis.
Angela Ramo.
Hi, Megan Levine.
Hi, Maureen Jimenez.
Michael Mecca.
Okay. Then we'll move on to the approval of the minutes for May 20th. Can I get a motion? Anne and Maria, any questions or comments? All in favor? 7. No committee reports, student board member report? Do you have anything, Michael?
I do. Good evening. So during the past 2 weeks, the band and the select chorale have finished up their year by performing outside of Glen Cove. The band went to a NISMA clinic on Monday at Adelphi, where we performed for 2 judges to receive feedback. The select chorale was invited to practice and perform with several other choirs from all over the country over a 3-day period in Manhattan, culminating in a concert on Saturday night at Carnegie Hall. The annual Battle of the Classes is this Saturday at 1 p.m. on the turf. Shirts are being distributed this week by class advisors and teachers. The Senior Awards Night is tomorrow at 7:30. The Varsity Awards Night is going to be the following week, next week, on the 9th at 7 p.m. And then the Senior Walk is on the 16th, so that's the next kind of following dates going on for the high school. Lastly, of course, I'd love to congratulate all the teachers who have received tenure or are retiring this year. Also, a special shout out to my rifle coach for earning tenure. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this evening is going to be a long meeting that is filled with a lot of joy. We have some of our most recently tenured or will be tenured individuals in the auditorium, and we also have some of our retirees here with us this evening. We want to start with just one thing different than the rest of the agenda. So we had a new process to elect our ex officio board member. So as you heard from Michael this evening, he is one of our ex officio board members, and in the past we had students who were the president of Student Senate and not Student Senate, the student class.
President and Vice President.
President and Vice President. And that's how they received this honor to sit on our board. So we changed the process, and it was very much led by our students. We spoke with Ryan Martino, who's our ex officio board member. He informed us of what he thought could be part of the process. We went and followed up with Student Senate, and they really weighed in and told us what they viewed as what the process should look like. So it was very student-centered in terms of what the thoughts it was going to be. And we're very pleased to share with you that under the leadership of Mr. DiNapoli, Ms. Taylor Plotke, and Mr. Hudson, we came up with a rigorous process whereby we had 2 young ladies who campaigned and were successful in the campaign and were able to give their speeches, which was, I know, probably nerve-wracking. And they then held an election. And so we had Charlotte Decker, who's sitting in the back, and I'm going to ask you both to come in a second. She was elected as our next year's ex officio board member. Congratulations, Charlotte. And we have Alexandra South, who will be serving as our ex officio board member alternate. Congratulations, Alexandra. So at this time, if you guys could come to the front, we'll just take a quick photo. We're very excited by the fact that we came up with the process based on student feedback. We had students vote for the 2 of you, and we are so excited to welcome you to our board. So we're going to ask Ms. Viskovich to take a quick photo. Okay. And at this time, I will turn it over to Mr. DiNapoli. Before we get started with this night's event, I want to extend my thanks to Mr. DiNapoli. He has put this ceremony together. Every year he's done it, it has gotten better and better. We really value our staff, and we want to make sure that that's what you feel when you join our Glen Cove team and officially as a tenured staff member. And also, we want you to feel valued when you leave our buildings. So I want to thank you for all of your hard work. We appreciate the program, the setup, and the gravitas of this night, because we take it very seriously, and we want all of you to feel that as well, whether you are staff members or loved ones. Thank you, Mr. DiNapoli.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you to Dr. Dushner and the Board of Education for hosting this evening's ceremony. In many ways, I have to name it. Tonight really reflects a familiar literary theme. It's the closing of one chapter and the beginning of another. For everyone we celebrate this evening, a page is being turned, just at different points in your stories. While our retirees and newly tenured educators stand at different stages of their professional journeys, they are united by a shared commitment to students and to the noble work of public education. Before we begin, I would like to recognize the many individuals who helped make tonight's evening possible. So first, thank you to Maria Petrie and her daughter for tonight's setup in the Human Resources Office. Especially Maria for her coordination and communication with all of our staff members. Lisa Viskovich for preparing this evening's presentation that everyone will be able to enjoy. Carly Prusher in the Food Service Department for preparing the refreshments to follow this evening's event. Ralph DiMaggio and the custodial team for this evening's setup. Lauren Lavelle in the Technology Department for their support. And as always, Chris Barry and GCTV for their dedication in capturing and preserving tonight's celebration. I would also like to extend my sincere appreciation to our administrative team for the time and effort they put into honoring our staff this evening, so thank you. During tonight's ceremony, you will notice that our retirees, I actually brought them up here just to show everyone. So our retirees and our newly tenured educators are going to be receiving keepsakes. So they're going to be receiving a symbolic apple. So our retirees are going to be receiving a red apple, and our tenured staff are going to be receiving a green apple. The red apple is representing a career of dedication, wisdom, and impact brought to full fruition. And our newly tenured educators will receive a green apple for symbolizing growth, promise, and the beginning of a new chapter filled with opportunity and purpose. So tonight, we are going to celebrate those whose work has come to fruition and those whose journey is still unfolding. And together they represent the enduring story of public education, one generation of educators inspiring the next. So at this time, I'd like to call up Dr. Alexa Dushner, our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Angela Ramo, our Board President, and Ann Markoulis, our Board Vice President, to come to the stage. All right, so for this evening, we're going to begin our ceremony with our retirees. So as we recognize our retirees, we are reminded that the true legacy of education is found in the lives they shape. So the poet James W. Foley once wrote, "Drop a pebble in the water and the ripples circle yet. You've disturbed a mighty river just by dropping in a stone." Every day in the school, someone drops a pebble into the water. A lesson is taught, a student is encouraged, a meal is served, a hallway is made safe, a helping hand is offered. And while the moment may seem small, in that particular time, the ripples continue long after the day is done. And tonight, through our whereas statements for all of our retirees, we celebrate those whose ripples have spread throughout our schools and our Glen Cove community for years, and in some cases, for decades and generations. So tonight, just to explain the setup, I'm going to be calling up each retiree one by one. I'm going to ask the retiree when I call you up by name. If you don't mind just standing, there's a number 6 right here. If you don't mind standing on the number 6, that would be great. And as you come up here to get called up, you are going to be recognized for your years of service through whereas statements. Really just a snapshot of all the amazing accomplishments and impact that you've had on our students in our schools. So this evening we're going to begin with Anna Graziosi. Can you please come up? All right. Anna Graziosi. Whereas Ms. Graziosi joined the district during the 2001-2002 school year as a food service helper, and through years of dedication, hard work, and commitment to students, progressed within the food service department to the roles of assistant cook and elementary cook manager, building a distinguished career rooted in service to the school community. Whereas throughout Ms. Graziosi's tenure, she supported students and staff across multiple buildings, including both the elementary and high school levels, while consistently demonstrating a willingness to assist wherever needed in order to ensure the smooth operation of the district's food service program and the daily care of our students. Whereas those who have had the privilege of working alongside Ms. Graziosi know her to be deeply dedicated to her craft and unwavering in her commitment to creating a positive experience for students through the district's food service program, always taking pride in ensuring students were welcomed, cared for, and excited about the school lunch offerings each day. Whereas her passion for her work has remained steadfast throughout her career, and her professionalism, knowledge, and experience have made her a valued mentor and role model to colleagues as she consistently shared her expertise, her knowledge, supported fellow staff members, and contributed to a collaborative and caring work environment. Whereas through her careers of service, Ms. Graziosi demonstrated that the work of supporting students extends beyond the classroom, leaving a lasting impact on the daily experiences of countless students, families, and colleagues through her dedication, kindness, and unwavering commitment to the school community. Ms. Graziosi, we congratulate you on your well-earned retirement. Hector Rosario. Whereas Mr. Rosario first joined the district during the 1989-1990 school year as a member of the security team, and over the course of a distinguished career spanning decades of dedicated service, became a trusted and respected presence throughout the school community. Whereas throughout his tenure, he consistently demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the district and its students by serving in numerous capacities beyond his primary responsibilities, including supporting the custodial team during the summer months to help prepare our buildings for the upcoming school year, and working as a security guard for the district's summer academic programs. Whereas for close to a decade, Mr. Rosario served as security supervisor, leading the district security team across all buildings with professionalism, dependability, and a calm presence that contributed greatly to the safe and welcoming environment experienced by students, staff, families, and community members each day. Whereas his dedication to ensuring the safety and well-being of others extended far beyond the regular school day, as he remained a visible and reassuring presence during evening activities, athletic contests, performances, countless community events, earning the appreciation, gratitude, and respect of the entire school community. Whereas throughout his career, Mr. Rosario remained deeply student-centered in his work, understanding that a safe, supportive, and positive environment is essential for students to learn, grow, and succeed, and consistently approaching his responsibilities with care and integrity. Whereas in addition to his service and security, he made a lasting impact on the district's athletic programs through the years of dedicated coaching and mentorship, serving students in numerous roles, including middle school girls soccer coach, middle school girls basketball coach, middle school boys basketball coach, assistant middle school track coach, assistant varsity girls track coach, varsity girls track coach, assistant varsity winter track coach, assistant varsity cross country coach, varsity cross-country coach, and varsity boys track coach, through which his leadership, encouragement, and unwavering commitment to students positively influenced generations of student athletes by fostering teamwork, perseverance, sportsmanship, and school pride, both in and beyond athletic competition. Whereas Mr. Rosario's career reflects a remarkable legacy of service, leadership, dedication, and care for the students and families of the district, leaving a lasting impact on the entire school community through his steadfast commitment to safety, mentorship, and the well-being of others. Mr. Rosario, congratulations. All right, at this time, I'd like to call up Allison Fletcher, our GCTA president, and she's going to be part of our celebration of our teacher retirees. Ms. Fletcher. All right, so can Li Hong Chang please come up? I know Mr. Chang was trying to make it tonight. If we go back, if he comes in, we'll come back, okay? All right. I am going to go to Susan Seltzer. All right. Whereas Ms. Seltzer dedicated close to 20 years of service to the students and families of the Glen Cove City School District, serving as a compassionate and student-centered educator whose commitment to supporting all learners has left a lasting impact on the school community. Whereas throughout her career, she consistently approached her work through a collaborative and team-oriented lens, valuing the importance of partnerships among teachers, support staff, administrators, students, and families in creating meaningful opportunities for student success and well-being. Whereas Ms. Seltzer consistently demonstrated deep commitment to professional growth and lifelong learning in support of her students, continually expanding her expertise through specialized trainings and certifications, including Wilson certification, while serving as a knowledgeable, trusted, and compassionate resource for colleagues, students, and families alike. Whereas Ms. Seltzer's collaborative spirit, professional expertise, and willingness to support others made her a valuable resource within the building as she worked closely with colleagues across disciplines and grade levels to help ensure students receive the guidance, encouragement, and individualized support necessary to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Whereas her dedication to students extended well beyond the classroom through her support of summer academic programs, her involvement in enriching school experiences, including contributions to programs such as the Wizard of Oz, the Eco Carnival events, and Parents' Night Out activities that help strengthen school culture and student engagement. Whereas Ms. Seltzer remained actively engaged in professional and community organizations, including membership in Council for Exceptional Children and Autism Speaks, reflecting her ongoing commitment to advocacy and professional growth. Whereas her care for the broader school community was evident through her involvement in Thanksgiving fundraisers, multicultural nights, holiday fundraisers, and numerous community-centered initiatives that brought students, families, and staff together in support of one another. Whereas, through her years of service, compassion, collaboration, and dedication to students and families, Ms. Seltzer leaves behind a lasting legacy of kindness, advocacy, teamwork, and unwavering commitment to helping every child feel supported, valued, and capable of success. Ms. Seltzer, congratulations on your retirement. Fran Cashano, come up. Fran. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Whereas Ms. Cashano dedicated more than 30 years of service to the students, families, and staff of the Glen Cove City School District as a school psychologist, leaving a profound and lasting impact through a career defined by compassion, expertise, leadership, and advocacy for children. Whereas throughout her distinguished career, she consistently placed students at the center of her work, fostering strong partnerships with parents, colleagues, and support staff to help ensure students were provided with the services, guidance, and opportunities necessary for success both academically and emotionally. Whereas for more than 20 years, Ms. Cashano served as a CPSE, CSE chairperson, demonstrating exceptional professionalism, organization, and care in supporting students and families while earning the respect of colleagues and administrators for her extensive knowledge of state regulations and compliance practices. Whereas her leadership and expertise extended beyond her individual responsibilities through her service as team leader of school psychologists, where she provided guidance, collaboration, and support to colleagues while helping to strengthen the district's student support services. Whereas throughout her tenure, she was consistently regarded by administrators and colleagues as a trusted resource whose insight, professionalism, and student-centered approach contributed greatly to the successful implementation and continued growth of programs. As a concrete example, our recent programs at Gribben Elementary School. Whereas deeply committed to supporting and developing future professionals in the field, Ms. Cashano served as a mentor to probationary staff and worked closely with interns from college programs, pursuing careers as school psychologists, serving as a liaison with higher education institutions, and helping to guide and inspire the next generation of student support professionals. Whereas her dedication to students extended beyond the traditional school year through her support of summer academic programs and through her involvement in both school and community initiatives, including participation in holiday drives and support of community organizations such as Tiny Tots soccer programs and the Glen Cove Junior Soccer League. Whereas the impact of Ms. Cashano's career will be felt for years to come through the countless students, families, colleagues, and future psychologists she guided, supported, and inspired, as her dedication, wisdom, and steadfast belief in the potential of every child helped shape a stronger and more compassionate school community. Ms. Cashano, congratulations on your retirement. Marcy Notice. As an aside, whereas I had the opportunity to work with Marcy 11 years ago on our alignment committee team. So, yeah. All right. Whereas Ms. Notice devoted more than 30 years of dedicated service to the students and families of Daisy School, serving as a compassionate educator whose influence helped shape generations of young learners during the foundational years of their educational journey. Whereas throughout her distinguished career, she remained deeply committed to instructional excellence and in the advancement of student learning, contributing her expertise as an elementary curriculum writer and serving on the district's ELA Alignment Committee and Technology Committee, helping to strengthen and align instruction for students across grade levels. Whereas her dedication to the teaching profession extended beyond her own classroom, as she generously mentored new teachers entering the district and welcomed college student observers into her classroom, providing aspiring educators with guidance and encouragement. Whereas Ms. Notice consistently embraced opportunities for professional growth and lifelong learning, continually engaging in professional development experiences to refine her instructional practice and ensure her students benefited from engaging, innovative, and meaningful educational experiences, while her enduring passion for education and deep connection to the teaching profession remained evident both inside and outside the classroom, as colleagues and friends could often find her participating in Saturday reunions at Teachers College, reflecting her unwavering enthusiasm for learning, collaboration, and professional community. Whereas her commitment to students reached beyond the traditional school day through her support of summer academic programs and her unwavering focus on ensuring all students felt supported, encouraged, and empowered to succeed. Whereas Ms. Notice also demonstrated a steadfast commitment to supporting her colleagues and advocating for the school community through her years of service as a GCTA building representative, serving as a source of support for fellow staff members. Whereas her dedication to the broader school community was evident through her extensive involvement in school and community initiatives, including co-chairing the Outreach Committee, helping to plan and implement parent universities, organizing Thanksgiving basket deliveries and holiday drives for families, co-chairing the Cultural Arts Committee, among the many contributions she made to strengthen connections between the school and community while supporting students and families beyond the classroom. Whereas through Ms. Notice's decades of service, leadership, mentorship, and care for students, Ms. Notice leaves behind a lasting legacy defined by compassion, professionalism, educational excellence, and an unwavering commitment to the students, families, and colleagues of Daisy Elementary School. Ms. Notice, congratulations on your retirement. Jean, I brought it. Jean Bernardo, if you can come up. All right. Whereas Miss Bernardo dedicated more than 30 years of service to the students and families of the district as an elementary art teacher, inspiring generations of young artists through a career defined by creativity, imagination, and belief in the unique talents of every child. Whereas throughout her tenure teaching students in grades K through 5, Ms. Bernardo fostered learning environments that encouraged individuality, self-expression, and artistic exploration. Whereas committed to ensuring that the arts remained a vibrant and meaningful part of the educational experience, Ms. Bernardo continually developed innovative lessons and curriculum that challenged students to think critically, collaborate with others, and engage in authentic creative processes. Whereas her impact extended well beyond the classroom walls, as she consistently used her artistic talents to enrich school culture and strengthen school communities, creating spelling bee banners, supporting yearbook cover contests, designing logo murals for school APRs and stages, and contributing artistic elements to countless school celebrations and events that fostered school pride, unity, and belonging, to name a few. Whereas she believed deeply in connecting students' artistic work to the broader community, helping students create artwork for display at local senior centers, providing opportunities for young artists to share their talents and experiences beyond the classroom. Whereas her dedication to students was further demonstrated through her support of extracurricular and community art initiatives, volunteering her time at student art shows, assisting colleagues whenever needed, and ensuring students had opportunities to showcase and celebrate their artistic accomplishments. Whereas committed to both artistic and professional growth, Ms. Bernardo actively sought opportunities to expand her expertise through involvement in professional art organizations, participation in programs offered through the Heckscher Museum of Art, and by bringing enriching experiences to students, including facilitating visits from ceramic artists through local arts organizations, as an example. Whereas through more than 3 decades of service, creativity, and dedication, Ms. Bernardo helped shape the artistic experiences of countless students, leaving behind a legacy of inspiration, school pride, and a belief that every child has the ability to create, imagine, and express themselves in meaningful ways. Ms. Bernardo, congratulations on your retirement. So not all of our retirees could attend tonight, but I want to just take a moment and just name our retirees and celebrate all of our retirees from the 2025-2026 school year. So tonight, though they could not be here in person, we want to celebrate Amy Madrinos, Antoinette Sicaranza, Barbara Bannerman, Denise Pulowski, Ishmael Alvarado, James Kolzinski, Janet Durso, Regina Kim, Lawrence Carroll, Nathaniel Morton, who's here in the building tonight, Rachel Caracciolo, and Victoria Graziosi, as well as Kellyanne Durham and Lee Hong Chang. So if we can all just please take a moment to congratulate all of our retirees. So I know Lisa's going to want to coordinate a group photo, but before we do that, so for all our retirees, tonight is bittersweet for us. We are sad for ourselves and for our children who will no longer benefit from your daily presence, but We are incredibly happy for you and your families who are here joining us tonight as you begin the next chapter of your lives, and your impact will continue to be felt long after this evening, and I hope that's your takeaway from tonight. So again, please join us one more time. All right. So, as we conclude our recognition for those whose services helped shape this district for decades, we now shift our attention to those who will help shape its future. So, in thinking about how we were going to ground tonight's message to our tenure recipients, a quote from Mahatma Gandhi really summarizes tonight's decision. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "The future depends on what you do today." And the granting of tenure for us, at its core, is an investment in that future. Tenure is not granted lightly. It is the culmination of years of observation, reflection, mentorship, evaluation, and demonstrated performance. The process of tenure is rigorous by design because of the significance of the decision that's being made. When a district grants tenure, it is placing its trust in individuals who will help educate, support, guide, and inspire students for years to come. Our goal as a district is to grant tenure to those who have consistently performed at the highest levels and have demonstrated an unwavering commitment to students, their profession, and the values of this district. Not to mention all of your loved ones in the audience tonight who have witnessed you working tirelessly over the course of these past couple of years. This evening, we recognize individuals who have earned the confidence of the districts, the Board of Education, administration, and their colleagues through their dedication, professionalism, and service. As they receive tenure, we celebrate not only what they have accomplished thus far, but here's the important piece. We are mostly celebrating the important role that you are all going to play in shaping the future of our schools and the generations of students who are going to walk through our doors in the years ahead of your career. So tonight, just to explain the process for our tenure recipients, we're going to be introducing administrators to present and speak on behalf of our tenure recipients. And Ms. Allison Fletcher, she's going to be up here from GCTA congratulating our tenure recipients, just so that way our tenure recipients just remember, as part of GCTA tradition, you're going to receive your gifts from GCTA at Superintendent's Conference Day. All right, so our retirees get a gift tonight. Our tenure recipients, you're going to receive your gifts at Superintendent's Conference Day when you celebrate with your entire staff and team. Okay? All right, so first, tenure recipients also, you're going to be on this side. You're going to see number 6 over here as well. So to kick it off, will Christian Dotton, our coordinator of physical education, health, and athletics, and Noelle Brigman come up.
Testing, testing. All right, we're good. All right, it is my pleasure to speak about Ms. Brigman as she is being recommended for tenure. Over the past 4 years, Ms. Brigman has served as a physical education teacher at Daisy, Gribben, Landing, and Connolly schools, while also contributing as a coach and an advisor for Athletes Helping Athletes. Her passion for education stems from a desire to build healthy habits, confidence, and leadership skills in students, inspired by the impact her own coaches and teachers had on her. She has built strong relationships across all grade levels, created an inclusive and structured learning environment, and consistently engaged students in a wide variety of physical activities. Her ability to introduce these students to new sports and see them continue to participate at the next level is a clear example of her impact. I am confident she will continue to be a positive role model and valuable member of the Glen Cove community. Noelle, thank you for the work you have done and the work I know you will continue to do here at Glen Cove School District. Congratulations.
All right, so I just want to take a moment to note we have a number of middle school staff members who we're going to be calling up. Mr. Icolano wishes he could have been here tonight, and he extends his congratulations to our middle school staff. And at this time, I'm excited to call up Ms. Lauren Lavelle, our Coordinator of Instructional Technology, and Patrick Carlton, our Library Media Specialist.
Good evening. Tonight, I am proud to celebrate the 10-year recognition of Patrick Carlton, our middle school library media specialist, whose dedication to students, staff, and the growth of the library program is evident in everything he does. Patrick understands that a school library is so much more than a place to check out books. Under his watch, it has become a space where students feel welcomed, ask questions, explore new ideas, and grow as thinkers and learners. This year especially, Patrick has been reflective, collaborative, and willing to think differently about how the library can meet the needs of today's learners. One example is Tech Bites, an innovative way to gather dedicated opportunities for teachers to explore digital tools, pick up practical technology tips, and build confidence bringing tech into their classrooms in meaningful and intentional ways. He also secured a loan of VR headsets through BOCES, bringing immersive learning experiences into the library and helping students engage with content in ways that go beyond the page and the screen. He runs the Makerspace Club, which gives students a hands-on space to create, problem solve, and explore ideas in new ways. And through a Google Classroom Middle School Hub, Patrick gives a centralized space for students and staff to access library resources, announcements, and technology supports. Patrick has also shown a strong commitment to his own professional growth. He has attended site visits, toured other school libraries, and connected with librarians in neighboring districts to bring new ideas back to Glen Cove. That willingness to look beyond his own walls speaks to who he is as an educator. At the heart of Patrick's work is his ability to build relationships with students, teachers, and colleagues, and to make the library an active part of the school community. Looking ahead, Patrick is also exploring grant opportunities to continue to reimagine the library's space itself. On behalf of Glen Cove, it is a privilege to congratulate Patrick Carlton on his 10-year recognition. Next up is Amanda Silverman. Tonight, I am also proud to celebrate the 10-year recognition of Amanda Silverman, a middle school educator who continues to reflect on her practice and create meaningful learning experiences for her students. Amanda teaches STREAM at the middle school, but over the past several years, she has thoughtfully shaped and strengthened the program to more closely align with computer science, digital fluency, and the skills our students need for the future. She has worked to make the program more intentional, more connected to the New York State computer science and digital fluency standards, and more focused on helping students become problem solvers, creators, and critical thinkers. One of the things I admire about Amanda is that she does not stay still. Each year, she looks at her program and asks how it can become stronger. That reflection is evident in the way she continues to build her knowledge of computer science instruction and emerging technologies. Her own professional growth is reflected in the way her program has also evolved over time. Beyond the classroom, Amanda has also taken the lead in creating a robotics club at the middle school. This has opened the door for students to explore engineering, coding, teamwork, and perseverance. She has already helped build excitement around robotics, and her hope is to continue growing the club next year. As Amanda moves forward in her career, I am excited to see how her program continues to grow. I know she will continue to expand computer science opportunities for our students, build the robotics program, and help students see themselves as capable creators and innovators. It is my honor to recognize Amanda Silverman for tenure this evening. Congratulations, Amanda.
At this time, I'm going to call back to the stage Christian Doughton, Coordinator of Physical Education, Health, and Athletics, and Amanda King.
The Amandas are doing great tonight, right? Back to back. All right. Over the past 4 years, Ms. King has served as a dedicated health and physical education teacher working with students from pre-K through 12th grade. She's only slightly more famous than Dr. Doshner, just a little. So she has been actively involved in coaching, mentoring, and advising students throughout the entire district. Her passion for education comes from a desire to create a positive and supportive environment where all students can build confidence, develop teamwork skills, and experience success. She's inspired by teachers and coaches who have influenced her own life, and she strives to have that positive impact on her students. Through strong relationships, clear expectations, and engaging instruction, she has helped students of all abilities become more confident and active participants. Her involvement with Athletes Helping Athletes and her contributions to Glen Cove's county championship winning softball program further demonstrate her commitment to students both inside and outside of the classroom. As she continues her career here in Glen Cove, I am confident she will remain a positive influence on students and the school community. It is a great honor to receive tenure for what you have done in the past, and I cannot wait to see how many more lives you touch in the future. Congratulations.
At this time, I'd like to call up Courtney Farrell, our Director of Special Education, and Josephine Santagata.
Good evening. I'm not touching that. Thank you. It is my absolute honor to stand here and to congratulate someone who doesn't come to work every day to do a job, but who truly embodies the heart of our community, Josephine Santagata. Social work is not a career for the faint of heart. It requires a rare combination of fierce advocacy and deep, unshakable empathy. Josephine possesses both in abundance. She is the person who stays late because the student is in crisis and puts her needs aside for all others. Josephine is the one who advocates for the quietest but most needy student in the room and ensures that she is fully understanding all situations to provide what someone actually needs to feel safe, heard, and supported. And I'm not even talking about the faculty yet, or those on the softball field. Tenure is an investment in our future. It is a commitment to keeping the very best talent, leadership, and heart in our schools. I stand here today knowing that we will be a better school district, having Josephine on our team. Josephine, thank you for your relentless dedication, your fierce advocacy, and beautiful heart. You make us all better. It is a privilege to join her mother, Sue, and fiance, Mikey, in the audience tonight in congratulating such a deserving educator.
At this time, I'd like to call up Ashley Giraldi, our Coordinator of E&L and World Languages, and Bradley Stone.
Yay, Brad. I am thrilled to celebrate the tenure of a faculty member who truly embodies what it means to be an educator, someone whose students are at the heart of every decision he makes. Brad Stone is currently completing his 4th year of impactful teaching with the Glen Cove City School District. As a dedicated E&L teacher at Robert Finley Middle School, he balances a vast and diverse schedule, co-teaching across 6th, 7th, and 8th grade ELA, as well as 6th grade social studies. Whether he is working within general education, ICT, or self-contained environments, Brad's primary mission is to provide seamless language and content instruction to our English language learners. He collaborates intimately with classroom teachers to ensure that grade level content is entirely accessible while maintaining elevated academic standards for all. Since his arrival at Finley, Brad has become a true instructional anchor. He brings core literacy units to life with incredible creativity. By thoughtfully integrating visual tools and writing scaffolds, he tirelessly builds his students' confidence in reading, writing, and academic discussions. Brad never stops striving to refine his teaching and strengthen his partnerships. On behalf of Robert F. Finley Middle School, it's an absolute privilege to congratulate Brad Stone on reaching this incredible career milestone. His vibrant personality and fierce advocacy for students shine through every single day, beautifully equipping them with the tools they need for the next stage of their academic journeys. Congratulations, Brad.
All right, at this time, I'd like to call up Brooke Tanner to the stage. All right, so these are the words from Mr. Iacolano. Tonight, it is my pleasure to recognize and congratulate Brooke Tanner on earning tenure. While Brooke is only in her 4th year of teaching, the impact she has already made on our students and school community has been remarkable. In family and consumer science, Brooke has created classrooms where students are not simply completing assignments, but developing real-world skills they will carry with them for years to come. Whether students are learning to sew, cook, budget, explore careers, or run a mock business through virtual enterprise, Brooke has found a way to make learning meaningful, engaging, and relevant to their everyday lives. What stands out most about Brooke is her ability to connect with students while maintaining high expectations and a positive classroom environment. Brooke differentiates instruction to meet the needs of all learners, incorporates technology and hands-on learning experiences, and consistently goes above and beyond to support students both academically and personally. Outside of the classroom, she has dedicated countless hours advising clubs, coaching students through statewide and international virtual enterprise competitions, offering extra help and supporting school events. Her students represented Glen Cove with professionalism and pride, including becoming the first middle school from our district to compete at the Youth Business Summit at the Javits Center. Brooke has also demonstrated a strong commitment to professional growth and leadership. From graduate coursework and professional development to being selected as one of only 4 educators nationwide for the inaugural Junior Ventures Best Team, she has embraced every opportunity to grow as an educator and contribute to the profession. Brooke, tenure is not simply recognition of the work you have already done, but confidence in the educator and leader you are continuing to become. Your creativity, dedication, and care for students are evident in everything you do, and we are proud to have you as part of the Glen Cove School community. Congratulations on this well-deserved achievement. Congratulations. At this time, I'd like to call up Alan Hudson III, our high school principal, Anthony Allison, coordinator of mathematics, and Nicole Amador Silva.
Good evening. Tonight, I'm both proud and honored to recognize Miss Nicole Amador Silva, who is being awarded tenure as a mathematics teacher here at Glen Cove. Miss Amador Silva's ability to inspire, support, and challenge her students is a true reflection of her dedication to education and the meaningful impact she has made in our school community. Through creative and thoughtful design lessons, she consistently brings real-world application, critical thinking, and problem-solving into her classroom, making learning both engaging and meaningful to all our students. Her exceptional organization, linguistic skills, and attention to detail are among the many qualities that make her such an outstanding educator. Ms. Amador Silva approaches every lesson, activity, and interaction with careful planning, purpose, and ensuring that her students are set up for success each and every day. Her preparation, professionalism, and high standards create a classroom environment that is both structured and supportive. She fosters an atmosphere where students feel encouraged to ask questions, take academic risks, and grow in confidence as learners in this district. Her classroom is a place where curiosity is nurtured, perseverance is valued, and students are empowered to recognize their own potential and capabilities.
Beyond daily instruction, Ms. Amador Silva is deeply committed to building strong relationships founded on respect, encouragement, and genuine care, creating a positive learning environment where students feel supported both academically and personally. Her students know that she believes in them, and because of that, they develop the confidence to believe in themselves. Ms. Amador Silva, your tenure is a well-deserved recognition of your outstanding teaching, unwavering commitment to your students, and the countless contributions you have made to Glen Cove High School and Finley. We are grateful for the passion, professionalism, creativity, and positivity you bring to our school community each and every day. Here's to many more years of success, leadership, and inspiration. Congratulations. At this point, I'd like to call Ms. Ashley Giraldi, again, our coordinator of ENL and World Languages, along with Mr. Arturo Flores, an ENL educator.
Yay, Mr. Flores. I am incredibly proud to honor an educator whose classroom is defined by empathy, growth, and a deep-seated belief in the potential of every young person he meets. Arturo Flores understands that meaningful education begins with building genuine connections. He has dedicated his career to the essential field of ENL education, initially serving at the primary level before bringing his talents to our high school community. For nearly half a decade at Glen Cove High School, Arturo has been a regular source of support for our English new learners, guiding them in Global 9, Global 10, Anticipation, and Economics. In his classroom, Mr. Flores creates an environment where students don't just learn, they learn how to think critically and make profound connections across different subject areas. By intentionally fostering deep relationships with his students, he masterfully bridges the gap between curriculum and their personal lives, making history and civics truly alive for them.
Arturo, AKA the professor. True story, when he first walked into the interview, I right away came up with a nickname for him, and it has stuck for him. So Arturo the professor, as I call him, dreams for his students are backed by his own dedication to continuous improvement. He constantly pushes himself to stay current with the latest teaching pedagogies and deeply immerses himself in his subject matter, ensuring he is always ready to feed his students' curiosity and answer their deepest questions. I had the privilege of actually going away with the professor here to Spain last year with 73 of our GC Knights. I just want to say I really got a chance to really get to know this young man. He served as my right-hand man down in Spain. Tremendous job. I can't thank you enough for all that you did for our GC Knights during those 8 long days. So, on behalf of the Glen Cove High School, it is my privilege to congratulate Arturo Flores on this well-deserved granting of tenure. His deep commitment to building his students up academically, emotionally, and socially ensures they are fully empowered to take on the world after graduation. We are so lucky to have the professor. At this time, it's my privilege and honor to call up Ms. Kristen Schaefer, the coordinator of ELA. And our guest of honor, Ms. Laura Pavlovich, an English teacher here at Glen Cove High School.
Good evening. It is an absolute privilege to stand here tonight to celebrate the well-deserved tenure of Ms. Laura Pavlovich. For the past 6 years, Laura has been a part of the English department at Glen Cove High School. To say she is versatile is an understatement. From teaching English 9 through 11 to her dedicated evening work teaching in the Twilight program, Laura meets our students exactly where they are. She doesn't just teach English. She creates inclusive spaces that welcome and challenge all students. Walk into her room and you will see a vibrant workshop-style environment where native languages are celebrated as valued instructional tools and where every student is given the custom scaffolding they need to achieve mastery.
But Laura's impact stretches far beyond the classroom walls. She is a champion for our school community, whether she's organizing the junior prom, leading the magical trick-or-treat street for our elementary kids, or serving on committees like the Seal of Biliteracy. Her commitment to continuous growth is inspirational. She is truly a professional who goes the extra mile. In fact, made official by her well-deserved GEM Award this school year. Above all, Laura is an educator who builds deep, lasting relationships rooted in patience, respect, and high expectations. Her students know that they are valued, heard, and capable of greatness. Don't just take our word for it. Here are what some of her students have to say about their time in her classroom. My favorite experience with Miss P is when I just came to the school and she made me feel like I was at home. She taught me how to see my own potential and how to write an argument with patience. She never stopped believing in me. When I think about Miss P, I think about a kind person as a teacher and a friend.
Ms. Pavlovich, siempre pensando que su paciencia es infinita y siempre voy a agradecer todo el esfuerzo que hace por todos los estudiantes de INL. Para mí, usted será una maestra inolvidable. Laura, your dedication to the Glen Cove community, your cultural responsiveness, and your relentless pursuit of excellence for all learners makes us incredibly proud to have you. Thank you for your passion, your brilliance, and your heart. Congratulations on your tenure.
All right. At this time, I'd like to call up Bryce Klatsky, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction and Technology, and Ashley Giraldi, our Coordinator of E&L and World Languages.
It is my pleasure to acknowledge and present Ashley Giraldi, our coordinator for E&L and World Languages, for tenure recognition this evening. In her role supervising both the E&L and World Language departments, pre-K through 12, Ashley holds a complex and multifaceted position, and she manages it masterfully. Under Ashley's leadership, the district has seen exceptional growth in students earning the New York State Seal of Biliteracy. Spanish recipients have increased by 63%, and Italian recipients a very impressive 130% since 2022. Numbers that reflect not just compliance with state expectations, but a genuine culture of multilingual achievement that Ashley has cultivated across the district. Ashley has also championed innovative and high-impact programs such as the new graduation pathways through the OHM World Language Exam, which she personally led review sessions for, contacted families about, and turned into a January graduation option that had never before existed for Glen Cove students. Additionally, newcomer academies in all 6 buildings and E&L parent nights that have grown into meaningful annual traditions. She has deepened the district's community partnerships with organizations such as Safe Glen Cove and La Fuerza, ensuring that our L families have access to resources beyond the schoolhouse doors. Ashley leads with a collaborative spirit, engaging teachers through professional development, curriculum alignment, and assessment design. She has also elevated the district's reputation by presenting her work to over 80 educators at the Long Island Teachers Institute to strong critical reception. Her leadership philosophy might best be described as compliance plus vision. She's meticulous about meeting the various state standards governing E&L and World Languages, but she's never satisfied to merely meet them. she perennially seeks to raise them. Ashley is known among her colleagues, many of whom are being recognized tonight, for her sardonic humor, her generosity, which is often expressed through baked goods, and her genuine interpersonal warmth. Even in challenging circumstances, her smile and can-do attitude provide reassurance to everyone around her that we can weather any storm together. I cannot close, however, without noting Ashley's crowning achievement. When I asked our administrative team for workshop ideas for an upcoming superintendent's conference day, Ashley raised her hand and asked, would it be okay if I had teachers make fresh pasta? If you didn't know Ashley well, you might think that this was a joke. But I knew that she was completely sincere and genuinely excited. And so it was that a workshop called Oh, the Pastabilities, her title, not mine, became the workshop du jour of this fall's Superintendent's Conference Day. That, in many ways, is Ashley Giraldi in a nutshell. She takes something that could be ordinary, adds creativity, warmth, and a little flower, and turns it into something people are still talking about. We are extraordinarily lucky to have her in Glen Cove, and it is my honor to recognize her for tenure. Congratulations.
All right, so if we can hear one more time for all of our tenure recipients. Congratulations. All right, at this time, we're going to continue. We're going to take a break from the Board of Ed meeting. We're going to continue our celebration. There is refreshments. I believe I heard that there's cake in the art gallery. Don't quote me on it, but there's refreshments in the art gallery for sure if everyone wants to take a moment to celebrate. Thank you.
you. Once again, I wanted to express my gratitude to Mr. DiNapoli for this wonderful evening. As I said earlier, he's made it special. This was something that was echoed with the family members who were here in attendance to honor our retirees and also our staff that are receiving tenure. I also wanted to remark, and this is very special to me, many of the teachers in the audience today who were receiving tenure were teachers that I started with in the new teacher orientation 4 years ago. So it's very nice to have come full circle with them and to have seen them in the last 4 years as part of their tenure process. Thank you, Mr. DiNapoli, once again. Okay, so along the same lines of ex officio board member, you may have seen this shared in my weekly newsletter. We have our ex officio board member, Ryan Martino, who was honored by People magazine, and he also this morning had an appearance on Fox News. Ryan, for many of you who might not know, is a childhood cancer survivor, and he talked about the resilience, the perseverance that he had to really practice to get through that difficult time in his life. And we are very proud of him as he's being recognized nationally. He won the very prestigious Chick Evans Caddy Scholarship for $125,000, and it is a full tuition. He is attending the University of Delaware. We wanted to remark this evening, and we will be officially honoring him at the next Board of Education meeting. Congratulations, Ryan. Next, we have an honor for Mr. Barry, who's here. I know he doesn't want to be honored, but last Monday, I received an email from the president of the BASH Awards, the Broadcast Alliance for Senior High School Awards, and they are in their 9th annual year. We attended their first ever award way back when it was like out east, and since that time, our GCTV students have been participating and come home with awards. But last Monday, the email read, Mr. Barry will be receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. So when I was told that, I was very happy, very excited. I moved my schedule around to try to see if I could attend, but I didn't know that it was a secret. Thankfully, I didn't say anything to him. I did mention it to Mr. Norris at the concert, but when I realized that Mr. Norris didn't know, I said, you know what, I might be a secret, let's keep this under wraps. And sure enough, it was a complete surprise to him, so I was in the audience and was very lucky to be there. I recorded the entire thing, and we were proud to hear him being recognized for a Lifetime Achievement Award. We're lucky to have him here as part of our GCTV studio. He is in every building during concerts, during moving up ceremonies, spelling bees, you name it, he's there with his team. We want to congratulate you, Mr. Barry, for all of the years of service, and we appreciate you. Thank you. And of course, our students took home Best Community Feature Package Award for their story on the work with the Glen Cove Beautification Commission. We had students who also presented awards that night. Isabella Damiano was a presenter, and we were proud of our students for taking home a trophy, presenting, and also for Mr. Barry being recognized. So again, a lot of pride for our district and a lot of incredible things happening. Congratulations, GCTV. At this time, I will turn it over to our Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, Mr. Bryce Klatsky. He will be presenting an update on our self-contained transition plan.
All right, thank you, Dr. Dushner. So I'm pleased tonight to be able to share a revision to an earlier plan for the transition and responsible management of our self-contained special education program. The plan that we are presenting tonight has been shaped with the input of staff and of families after meetings over the past few weeks. So I'm going to share with you tonight the mitigating factors that led to the need for a transition for our self-contained class and a change in logistics for our program. as well as the initial plan and the revision to the plan that we are moving forward with for the 26-27 school year. So our district is remaining, and we want to be very categorically clear on this, committed to including students in our district to the greatest extent possible. We do believe as a department and as a district that it's important that we find spaces for our students within our district to the extent that we can support them safely and responsibly. At the same time, and this is a really important thing to note publicly, in particular, our most restrictive program, our 811 program, has grown exponentially over the past 3 years. In particular, we've seen that program triple in size. This is consistent with what other districts are seeing across Long Island, younger students coming in with greater needs, and certainly we're seeing this in Glen Cove. The challenge for us is to maintain a welcoming, inclusive space for these students in the least restrictive environment, while also planning proactively for space, for staffing, and resources. With our new administration in central office, as well as in the special education department, these have been tenets of our leadership, being proactive and thinking about how to responsibly resource and support our students and our programs. So with the growth of our special education program, again, the 811 program, we noted in early spring that our special education department would be requiring 2 new 811 classes, one of which was scheduled to exist at Gribben and one at Connolly. It's important to note that Gribben and Connolly are also our 2 elementary buildings that have not seen any recent extensions. They have fewer available spaces than Daisy and Landing schools currently do. So we recognized pretty early in consultation with the special education department, as well as with our building principals, that the introduction of new 811 sections at these schools would have an impact on not only our allocation of resources for the special education programs, but quite literally the spaces that are available in those buildings. I'll show you in a later slide, but we began to note that these buildings, simply put, were running out of space, and it would displace things like art, music, and potentially library. At the same time, we were cognizant of the fact that across town, at Daisy and at Landing, there were many more available classrooms. So if we proceeded to next year making no changes, this would be the allocation of special classes across the district. So you'd see that Gribben School would have 5 sections, whereas Daisy would have 2. At Gribben, that would result in displacing art and likely the library as well, whereas at Daisy School, there would be spaces that would remain unutilized. At Connolly, with the addition of another section of 811, as well as actually the expansion of Connolly's overall general education enrollment, we would be looking at displacing art and also likely music, whereas Landing School would have several classrooms that would remain unused. So this was the original tension that led us to look at the placement of our special classes and consider a variety of options, and we started with a wide variety of different models to see what would be most appropriate. The initial plan that we presented was a hub model. So this is what the model would have looked like. To be clear, this is not the model that we are proceeding with for next year, but I do want to explain this initial model to give a little bit of the thinking behind it. So concretely, this model would have had all of the 811 classes at Gribben and Connolly, where they currently exist, and all of the 1211 classes at Daisy and Landing. Daisy and Landing currently have 1211 classes, but this would initiate the transition of 1211 classes from Gribben Connolly to Daisy Landing. We looked at this as an alluring option for a number of reasons. First of all, it achieved an equitable distribution of space, as well as, and this was very important to us, the possibility for flexibility for growth over time. At this moment, we are looking at a full incoming kindergarten class of 811 students. In speaking to colleagues across Long Island, we are hearing that this is something that other districts are seeing and anticipating. So again, we were trying and continue, even in the revised plan, to try to plan for a long-term space to invite district students into the buildings. We also next year are proceeding with a research-based curriculum as well as professional development to strengthen our 811 instruction. It was our hope to concentrate that curriculum as well as the instructional professional development within fewer sites. We felt that that would be a more effective use of those resources. This, as I said, is a common model for special education class organization. In other districts across Long Island, you will see, in some cases, entire buildings that are designated for special class. That is not the model that we want to pursue, but we also do see many districts where they do have programs in specific buildings. And again, I kind of hinted at this earlier, but we were cognizant of the consolidation of resources and staff, including occupational therapists, behaviorists, and things like that. So this was the original plan that we came up with, presented to teachers and to families. In our conversations with teachers and with families, there were two concerns which we had perceived as being issues with this plan that definitely came to the front. The first of these was the concern about split program access. So we do have some students who spend some of their day in the 811 program and some of their day in the 1211 program. In this model, which I'll go back to, if a student was, we'll try the laser, if a student was in the 811 program at Gribben, for example, they would not be able to go into a 1211 classroom for part of their day because that class would be at Daisy School. So that was certainly a concern that we heard, which would interrupt a natural pathway for students to pursue a less restrictive environment. The other concern that we heard, which we very much took to heart, was the disruption that this plan would have for students, and the idea that moving a student mid-program, particularly neurodivergent learners, students who may already not be in their home school, who have overcome challenges to successfully integrate and be included in their communities, that this would be a disruption to their engagement in school. So at these meetings, we certainly acknowledged, and again, we perceived that these would be tensions, but it was very important for us to hear directly from our teachers, as well later from our families, the extent to which these disruptions would impact their learners. The challenge for us then became, we wanted to truly honor and listen to these concerns while also managing the long-term implication of the growing special education program. Consequently, we came back to the drawing board with the feedback that we collected. We had, as I said earlier, started with several models for how we might be able to adjust and be flexible in our space allocation, our resource allocation, and we pulled out some of those old models and started looking back at potentially how to revise our plan. So, a couple of notes before I share exactly what that plan is. We still do see the value in that program hub model. Again, several districts use this. We do think this would help us group students more effectively by need, allocate resources, professional development, but nonetheless, we do think it is very important that we take a firm stance in sharing that we value the input of our educators, of our families, and that we really do value taking that into account as we are planning for our learners. So those are two, they're not conflicting thoughts, those are two thoughts that coalesce in this revised plan. So this revised plan is not as, it does not move as efficiently as the plan that we first introduced. It is a more gradual phase-in plan that helps us achieve a longer-term vision in a way that protects current students and does not cause any student to be disrupted mid-program. It also does, as I'll show you in a moment, address our space problem in the long run. I want to be clear that it does not capture every benefit that we see in that hub model, but we do think that it respectfully balances the concerns that we heard with our long-term proactive attempts to strengthen our programs. So this is our long-term vision, which will be accomplished likely by 28-29 or 29-30. And simply put, the plan is to designate or to put our 811 classes in our buildings with the most available space with a 1211 pathway in every school. So as you'll see here, and again, we're looking several school years out now. In time, Daisy will host the 811 program and the 1211 program for K-2. Landing will host the 811 program and the 1211 program for 3-5, and Gribben and Connolly will retain 1211 classes. In this way, what we can see here is that for any student who is in that 811 program, they will have access to the next proximal least restrictive environment, which is the 1211 class in Daisy and Landing. This does, I want to be very clear, introduce a bit of a sticky situation for next year, but this transition year that's on the screen now represents the least disruptive way to make this sustainable change over time. So what you'll see here is that next year, Gribben will have 3 sections, one 811 class. That 811 class at Gribben will keep any students who are currently in the Gribben 811 program so that they are not uprooted and moved in the middle of their Gribben careers. And they will keep their 2 1211 programs. We anticipate 2 811 classes at Daisy School and 2 1211 classes there. Connolly will keep an 811 class. That will mean that any student who is currently in the 811 program at Connolly will finish their time there. They'll retain their 1211s, and Landing will have its first 811 class and 2 1211 classes. The 2 specific moves here that are designed to help achieve this shift without disrupting students are noted on the right. So incoming kindergarten 811 students will go to Daisy School, And moving forward, any incoming 811 students in K-2 will be placed at Daisy School, and any students moving into the 811 program for the 3rd to 5th grade band will go to Landing School. So again, this is designed so that there is no student who has moved from their program in the middle of their current school career. So, what this plan accomplished, as I just highlighted, this means that no student will be uprooted mid-program. Students will complete their K-2 move or their K-2 careers in their current buildings, and likewise for 3 to 5. Every student that has an 811 class will also have a 1211 class, so we can have a split program successfully in those buildings. Critically, we are able to protect special classrooms like art, music, and library for all of our students, both our gen ed students as well as our students in the special education program. As this plan matures, and we do have the 811 classes reassigned to their new buildings, we will be better able to consolidate things like behavior therapists, related services, and professional development. And going forward, we will be assigning students to their zone schools to the extent that space allows, with the exception that those 811 classes will be in the 2 new designated buildings. The trade-off here is that next year, to be very honest, if we're looking back here, will be a bit of a challenge because we are now in the process of this transition, kind of expanding the program. You'll see there are 811 classes now existent in 4 buildings. That does present a bit of a challenge for things like coordination between teachers, consolidation of resources, assigning things like related services. We believe that that is a reasonable trade-off in order to make this adjustment in a way that is respectful of students in their current placements without being overly disruptive. So in closing, and a couple things here, we are grateful that we had teachers who felt comfortable sharing their feedback with us, that we had families who had faith that their advocacy would be received constructively and would be used in the revision of the plan. Our goal has always been to try to balance a plan that is helpful for our current students and supportive of their needs while also being sustainable in the long run. We believe that this plan does both things. Tonight's presentation is obviously being live streamed and filmed, so we hope that families who have questions will be able to watch this and then can certainly reach out to either myself or our special education department if they have specific questions. We also do have a follow-up family meeting, which is on June 9th in the middle school library from 6 to 7. We'll go over all of this information and be able to answer any questions that community members may have at that time. So, thank you for that. And now, if there are any questions from the board. Yes.
I just have a question. When you're doing, students, just because I never heard of it before, it's this way that you're kind of testing the kid out from the 811 to the 1211, is that just something that's informally done as a test, or is that in their IEP?
It's usually done in coordination with the case manager. It's not done informally, I'll say that. It's usually done as a coordinated effort to see if a student is appropriate for a less restrictive environment. And that's true for any type of mainstreaming, which could include not necessarily academic classes, but going with a different class for a special, or being with a different class during a lunch or recess period or something like that. That's all part of the natural progression that we promote towards a less restrictive environment.
Yeah.
But those kinds of split programs, particularly if they were sustained over a longer period of time, would need to be coordinated, as part of a student's special education program on their IEP.
Thanks.
Anybody else? I just want to thank you for your willingness to adjust, given the feedback from staff and families. I know this was a lot of work to begin with, and then adjusting is not easy. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. As a reminder, I just wanted to share once again, if any community member wants to ask a question before a Board of Education meeting, you can find the link on the pop-up that is on the website announcing the Board of Education meeting. That link will take you straight to a Google form. You can put your question there, your address, and your phone number, and that question will be answered at the subsequent Board of Education meeting. And that's the end of my superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Mr. DiNapoli, for a very nice tenure and retirement ceremony. That was very nice. Okay, so we'll move on to our first public participation. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. Please state your name and address, be respectful, and no naming of students, faculty. We're here to listen, and we will get back to you at a future meeting, as well as via email or phone call if appropriate.
Something prepared. It has faculty name in it, so if you bear with me, I'll try to talk through it. If you give me a couple extra seconds in my 3 minutes to change her name out. Sure. My name is Jackie Martinez. My address is 24 Kirkwood Drive, Glen Cove, New York, 11542. Can I mention my own kid? Okay, that's bizarre. Okay. All right. My son is currently in an 811 class at Gribben. While I was relieved to hear our administrator's original plan for the special ed was retracted, the vague way it was presented in the first place was unacceptable and calculated. Had parents known there was potential to remove their child from their school and put them in a model where their continuum of education wasn't available, the message would have gathered more attention. Within an hour, I figured out the district's plan to separate 811 classes from 1211s. I immediately reached out to everyone I could to spread the word and posted about it on Facebook. I made sure that 4 p.m. meeting was full and our taxpayers were informed when that should have been the job of our district. They created a plan that looked good on paper, but didn't take the individuals into account. Every special educator I've reached out to agreed this change would not benefit the students at all. My son started in a 1211 this year, and he struggled. He wanted to explore the new building, he didn't feel comfortable with anyone, he didn't learn anything for 2 months, and he eloped out of the building at least 5 times that I'm aware of. After strongly advocating for him, he was moved into an 811 with his current teacher. This was an easy transition because both classes were in the same building. His teacher is fantastic. There is no one more suited for the job they have than her. She has changed his life and ours. He is having conversations my husband and I never thought we'd get a chance to have with him. He's reading, writing, and making friends with everyone. She lets Mateo know she is in charge so he doesn't walk all over her. Every other parent I've spoken to from their class says the same about their child. Their child has progressed more this year than ever before. Now my son will start to integrate back into a 1211, which thankfully will be in the same building again. And thankfully he won't have to pause his education while he gets adjusted to yet another school and new people. The district is doing a disservice to our children by making the uneducated decision to not hire back his teacher. It does nothing but hurt our children's progress. They love her and respond beautifully to her. Every decision this district makes seems to show how little they value our special ed kids, including shorting our special ed aides full-time by 6 minutes. SPED teachers and aides are working harder than everyone. They deserve everything and more. Special ed students and parents are easy to take advantage of. It is a small community, notoriously undersupported, and this district has a majority of native Spanish-speaking parents who can't advocate for their children or don't know how to. If administrators or board members are making decisions that benefit themselves and space issues over the education and futures of our most vulnerable students, then they are in roles they are undeserving of. Going forward, I hope we can put kids' needs first and inform parents clearly. I urge you to reconsider my son's teacher's employment, and I propose that we form a committee comprised of parents from the community, administrators responsible for implementation, and board members to collaborate on and approve a solution to this problem. This collaboration approach will ensure that all potential alternatives have been explored and that we have full buy-in. It is incumbent to us to get this right, not only for the children in the 8-1 classes now, but for years to come. Do I have time still? I just like, and a couple of you have heard this before, autism parents, we worry about very different things than gen ed parents. We are constantly worried about our kids' safety. We are constantly worried if they'll have to live with us forever. We worry that we'll have to put them in a home because who will take care of them as well? That we'll have to put them in a home because we can't take care of them anymore. And we worry that it might be best for them to die an hour before us because no one will take care of them the way we do. And when you make reckless decisions like the one that was made and now adjusted, that seems to not be great when it goes forward, you are making those concerns all the more real. Thank you. And also, sorry, if we hadn't been so ill-prepared as a district to know that our COVID babies are coming in this kindergarten class, where more kids than ever have qualified for special ed and extra services, we wouldn't be dealing with a space issue. We are often allowing 811 kids into district that aren't ready to be in district because it costs less to keep them here than send them elsewhere. Does anyone have a question for me? Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. So we'll move on to the instructional report.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve agenda items 7A, Committee on Special Education, and 7B, Committee on Preschool Special Education.
Can I get a motion? Brett and Maria, questions or comments? All in favor? 7, business.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 8B, Operations, numbers 1 through 10.
Can I get a motion? Leah and Brett, questions or comments? All in favor? 7. Thank you to the PTAs. We have a ton of donations tonight. Daisy, Grib, and Landing all gave money toward end of school year trips, and as well as the K Club. And then K Kids also made a second donation for recess supplies. So thank you to all of those. I'm sure the kids will have a great time. Personnel.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9A, Certified, numbers 1 and 2.
Can I get a motion? Anne and Maureen, questions or comments? All in favor? 7.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9A, Certified, numbers 4 through 18 as amended.
Can I get a motion? Anne and Leah, questions or comments? All in favor? 7.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9B, Classified, numbers 1 through 8 as amended.
Can I get a motion? Megan and Maureen, questions, comments? All in favor? 7.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9B, Classified, number 9 as amended.
Can I get a motion? Anne and Maria, questions, comments? All in favor? 7.
Based on the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, I ask the Board of Education to approve Agenda Item 9B, Classified, number 10.
Can I get a motion? Leah and Brett, questions, comments? All in favor? 7. Thank you. We don't have any unfinished business, no new business. Board comments? Did you wanna- Bring it up to put on. Yeah, Brett.
Just wanted to, excuse me, say congratulations to all the retirees and all the employees getting tenure. But also, as Michael had alluded to earlier, this is like a season of awards. I was at awards last night, tomorrow night, Friday night, next week. Very impressive stuff. So congratulations to everybody who's receiving an award as well. That's it.
Yeah, Anne.
So the last meeting, we had a community member speak to us about our calendar. I would like to know if we could please put that on the next meeting so we can have a discussion in regards to that. The calendar, yes. So if we can make that a new business. Thank you.
Anybody else? No? Okay. We'll move on to our final public participation. 3 minutes, name and address. Any takers? Okay. So can I get a motion to go back into executive session for purposes of personnel? Anne and Brett, all in favor? 7, and good night. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.